Well, wait a minute. Maybe not as Dak went. Hopefully we go a little bit better than Dak went. Lombardi and JP, I know we may be asking a lot, but let's give it a shot. You never know. You found us, everybody. Welcome in. It is the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your boy, Scotty P. They, them boys, Lombardi and JP, and it's their podcast. It's what they want to talk about, their favorite teams, the Yankees, the Cowboys, the New York Rangers, and the Yukon Huskies. Let's get it on! All right, gentlemen, week 2 is in the books, and somebody just came back from Dallas to watch the home opener. Unfortunately, didn't have that great of experience in the stadium. But Lombardi, tell us, what was it like another opening day in Dallas?
Yeah, Scotty P, it was cool. Believe it or not, even with the outcome that I did not want, it was really cool. I got a chance to bring another first timer down to Dallas with me, Gary Grindle. He was like a kid at Christmas time. He was in awe. He finally understood all the stories I've shared with him and everything that I told him about his experience, that what it's going to be like. It's hard to put that in words until you actually do see it. And he was pretty impressed, to say the least. Saturday we flew down there. We went right to the stadium, AT&T Stadium. We had rally day tickets. We got them on the field. I hope you guys watched our short reel. You see some really, really cool pictures of him in the end zone, and down in the Miller Lite Club, in the locker room. He really, really got the full tour.
Is that what did you call it? A rally something?
Yeah, rally day. So
is that what gets you on the field? Like, I saw those pictures of, well, how did they get on the field?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I got, with access to my tickets, I also get they accompany the rally tickets, they're called, like I said, and they give you access to get into the press room, the locker room, different areas in the stadium the day before. So Saturday, I was really able to spend a couple hours down there to let Gary explore. It was pretty awesome. And I'll tell you what, the other fans that were down there on the field, man, the atmosphere. We'll talk about Sunday in a minute, but the atmosphere down there was electric. Awesome.
That is awesome. What a great experience. And JP, you've had an experience. You've had your first home opener or your first experience at AT&T Stadium. What was that like?
So my first game was against the San Francisco 49ers. I got to go down with Joe and experience that whole thing. I remember like walking into the stadium for the first time, like just, as a Cowboys lifelong fan, and being able to get to go to AT&T Stadium and like walk in and experience like just the atmosphere and see the banners up in the rafters and see all the retired players, like my heroes as a kid, Aikman, Irvin, Staubach, all these guys are just, it was just an amazing experience. But that was my first experience going to the AT&T Stadium. The second time Joe took me was a home opener against the Bengals, I think it was. And I got to do the rally tickets with you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
And we met Everson Walls.
Well, tell him why. You're really a Joe Burrow fan.
Here we go.
No, this is true. Tell them. They got to tell them the story.
Yeah. So, so we went to the San Fran game in Dallas. We were the 1 seed. We lost that game, obviously. And on the way home, he goes, "You can pick any game you want next year. Just pick the opponent." So when the schedule came out, I said, "Hey, Joe, I kind of want to go see the Bengals because I'm a big Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, LSU kind of guy. So I'd love to go see that game." He goes, "Tickets are yours." So when the schedule came out, it was opening day for the Cowboys. He's like, "Hey, we're going to the Bengals." I'm like, awesome. So we went down there, got the rally day tickets, got me on the field, got to meet some of the cheerleaders, some of the Cowboy legends. We played catch on the field.
We did. A lot of football. We were throwing touchdown passes.
Touchdown passes.
More than Dak did.
Us too.
With each other, not with Everson Walls or
no, but Everson Walls signed our autographs. We had autographs from Everson Walls. It was a great day.
It was a great experience. I mean, again, every time I go to the Cowboy Stadium, it feels like my little kid. It's just like, I can't believe I'm here. It's such a fun experience. Like, you can't stop smiling. And in your experience, like doing the whole Stadium Club, how did Gary like the Stadium Club? Was it cool?
He was in awe. I don't think he talked. All he did was eat.
That's the problem when you're there. It's like it's literally you walk. So Stadium Club is I did on the reel. You can see like the private entrance. It's kind of near the pro shop. on the stadium. So you don't like when you watch the videos on Instagram, you'll see like just like a stampede of people like running into the stadium, and it looks kind of dangerous being a regular person on game day. But with Joe's tickets, we have our own entrance. We get
Anything but regular.
right. It's so far from like
Is that a compliment, Scotty P? Because you telling me I'm not regular?
You are anything but regular.
So-
Let's just leave it at that.
So with Stadium Club, you get to go in 3 hours before. You go back for halftime, then you have an hour after the game. So it's a long day, and you get to watch like the early games usually on the in the bar, and you can drink top shelf stuff, eat top shelf food, and it's just a cool experience. So what did Gary devour in the Stadium Club?
So he went right to the carving station. He had some prime rib. 2-3 times he made a trip to the prime rib station, and then we went up there. Well, obviously we go back there for halftime. And
wings?
oh yeah, he he ate wings like it was his job.
he ate his weight in wings.
He didn't come up for air. I was worried about him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we made some friends in there, so like the staff is amazing.
Yeah.
Patrick, the bartender.
Yes.
Nunu is a bartender out there.
Yeah.
What's the girl who dances all the time? The waitress there. She's always fun.
She was there. She was there too. She's super fun. I forget her name, but super fun.
She's always there. So when we go, we have like our
The DJ in there. So
we have our own seats pretty much. Like the bartender Patrick, his buddy, will like literally reserve our seats for us. If he tells Patrick we're going, we'll have our seats at the bar. We won't move. They'll keep them for
you
us.
remember his name, but you don't remember her name. I hope she's not watching this.
I know. But no,
Shame on you. Shame on you.
That's you guys are killing me, man. Is this how we're gonna start off?
Speaking of shame, let's talk about Sunday. Ooh,
So things
do we have
changed from
to?
Saturday to Sunday.
So JP, on the field, you're watching from home, and you see the offense early on.
Yeah.
Did you feel differently early in the game versus as it went on? Did it get worse? What were your thoughts on the Cowboys offense this week?
So I'm gonna be completely honest here. I was actually at a work event while the game was playing, so I wasn't able to watch it live, but I did watch the recap of it afterwards.
Okay.
But when I got at least 20 texts saying how about them Cowboys, I knew I was in trouble before I got to watch the recap game. So I knew we lost or we were down big. It's just from the reaction from my friends and family, just killing me with texts. But so the Cowboys could not score. Obviously, they had to set up a bunch of field goals. They were down 21-6, I think, in the either the first or second quarter, and they just got so far behind. They only could rely on their passing game, and Dak was not sharp. He kind of brought his, he was average, I guess, at best in week one. Joe mentioned that last week. I feel like he did enough to win the game. Our defense stepped up in week one against the Browns. This week here, our defense was not present. The Cowboys struggled on offense. We didn't have a running game at all. I think Dowdle led the backfield. CD made a nice play, got the touchdown, but Dak wasn't himself per se. It just was very stale.
But were they one-dimensional prior to they getting down big? So were they trying to run early on and having no success?
They did in the first couple of drives. They did try to run the ball, but when you're down 21-3 at one point, and they came back to get a field goal to go down 21-6, I mean, you have to throw the ball. You have to get down the field.
That early in the game?
Well, it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty since kickoff. They were just struggling all around.
Lombardi, did they bail on the run game too early?
So listen. I'm going to comment on a couple things that you've said. Number one, you ready for this? That game was over after the first drive. I felt like, I'm not joking. I sat in that seat. The place was 100,000 people. We were so excited to have football back in Dallas and Arlington, and AT&T Stadium, and the rally flags, white flags flying all over the place, and we were pumped. Coming off a big win from Cleveland, place was rocking. The Saints got the ball. They drove down to the end zone. They must have scored a touchdown within 2.5 minutes, I think. It was something crazy.
4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, 4 minutes and 10
Thank
seconds.
you.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. 4 minutes, they score a touchdown. Okay, talk about taking the air out of the stadium. Unbelievable. So that's the first thing that I'm going to say. That I felt like I was back on January 15th watching the Green Bay Packers, taking care of business in the playoffs. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to tell you
We
is,
were there for that, by the way.
that's right. That's why I felt that way.
Rough.
Second thing I'm going to tell you is this. We talked about this yesterday, last show. I'm sorry. We talked about this last show. I don't know if the Saints are that good or the Cowboys were that bad, but I'm going to tell you this. Like I told you last week, they throttled us. That's what good teams do. They didn't stop. This isn't Pop Warner football, high school football where we have a mercy rule. What the Saints did is they made every Cowboy in that stadium want to throw up and walk out at halftime because they weren't settling for field goals. They 4 touchdowns, 4 consecutive touchdowns. They didn't punt the ball until the to the fourth quarter with like 9 minutes left in the game. And I'm not going to even get into Kamara. 4 touchdowns for that guy alone.
They didn't have to settle for field goals, Lombardi, because they never got to a position where they had to make a decision. They were scoring touchdowns before they even got to think about a field goal.
So think about time of possession in a football game, right? So like the Cowboys versus the Saints. Who do you think on the first 3 drives who had more time of possession? Would it be the Saints or would it be the Cowboys? What do you think?
Honestly, they were scoring so fast.
Yes.
I didn't look at the stat, but if I had to guess right now, I think the Cowboys would have had more time possession because they were striking big plays. Man, let me
Saints
just tell
were
you this.
exactly. Quickly and big plays.
The
Exactly.
runs, they're
my point.
5, 6, 7 yards a play. Like it was like a Pop Warner football. It was like a flag football team where the big kids were playing the little kids, and it was over.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this. My last point about what JP had said, it was Dak Prescott. This is where I'm going to defend Dak Prescott. You heard it here. You heard it here.
Whoa. Stop the presses. Stop the presses.
Stop.
Are you kidding me right now?
Stop. There's no way you can defend him when we got our ass kicked against the Saints. There's no way you can defend him right now.
I can't.
You're going to pick a time to defend Dak Prescott?
You're going to choke on your words right now.
Oh
I can't
my
wait.
God.
I can't wait to hear how he's going to justify this. Dak Prescott.
I can't wait to hear what you're about to say.
Dak Prescott was 27 for 39 with 293 yards, and he had a touchdown. 2 of the interceptions one of them was a deflected ball. It was garbage.
Yes.
He played better. And I listen to me. Maybe you didn't get to see the game, the recap, or whatever you're saying. But I'm telling you right now, Dak Prescott played better. And to your point, he had to go to the air so fast because we were getting our asses kicked from the minute we started.
Yeah.
Brings me to what you said. The running game, guys, 2 weeks. Our running backs have a total of 112 yards combined in 2 weeks. Not one game, not one running back. This is all of our running backs, 2 weeks of football and 112 yards. Dak Prescott throws for 27 for 39, 293 yards, and has a touchdown. What else you want him to do? I got to defend him right now.
Not practice. We're not talking about practice in a game. We're talking about a game.
What are you going to do?
Two games.
What are you going to say this?
Let's just rewind real quick, though,
Yes.
for time of possession, right? The Saints' first drive took them 4 minutes and 10 seconds. The Cowboys' first drive, so the Saints scored a touchdown on the first drive. The Cowboys' first drive ended in a field goal,
Go figure.
and it took 6 minutes and 36 seconds, right? The Saints get the ball back after they kick the field goal, so they're up 7-3, and the Saints score a touchdown in 9 seconds on 3 plays, right? So 9 seconds later, now they're 14-3. The Cowboys now go down in 7 minutes and 26 seconds on their second drive and settle for another field goal, so they're down 14-6. Then the Saints come back in 2 minutes and score in 6 plays and score another touchdown. So now they're down 21-6, right? And we're in this close to the end of the second quarter.
Correct.
And then we saw the CD catch, which he got the touchdown.
Well, CD did that on his
Yeah,
own.
so it's 21-13 going into half, right? But all I'm saying is that it's so frustrating that we played so well on defense on week 1, and then this week we can't stop them at all. Derek Carr becomes freaking, I don't know, Superman. He just driving the field. Kamara is back to being vintage Kamara, scoring 4 touchdowns in one game. It was just so embarrassing. It was just for opening game in your home stadium, and you're hosting a team that you're favored to win by 6 points, and you're gonna lose like that, get your butt kicked. I just there's no excuse for that. And I feel like Jerry's like, oh, it's so early. I hear him say, it's still early, guys. It's still early. Well, we didn't sign a running back in the offseason. There was plenty to choose from and go after. We didn't do anything. And now we have 112 yards, you think, in 2 games, right? You're saying 112 yards for all our running backs combined for 2 games.
That's correct. Yes.
Clearly, a running game is needed in Dallas.
Non-existent.
It's needed.
All right.
It's needed.
But tell me why it was Dak's problem today. I mean, you said, I can't believe you're going to justify, how well he did. I'm not letting you off the hook right now. Go ahead.
No, I feel like
you're teed up. Let's go.
The tip ball was a bad interception. I mean, that's not his fault, but the other one was pretty bad.
Okay.
And I feel like, again, when Dak has never been great, when it's a one-dimensional team, you need to have Zeke be Zeke when he was his best years. He had a great running game, and he passed based off the running game. And Dak's never going to be a Patrick Mahomes where he doesn't need a running back. You can't name the running back in KC. You know what I mean? Like, you need to have somebody there to back him up.
So tell me what he didn't do. My question.
We didn't win the game. We settled for field goals. He didn't make enough plays.
You wanted me to play last week's episode?
He didn't make enough plays.
He didn't have to. He took the foot off the gas. All this bullshit.
He was up by 3 scores. It's different.
No,
It's different.
No.
It's very different.
No, it's
when you're
not.
down by 3 scores and be up by 3 scores, it's different.
So
It's different.
what did Derek Carr do differently than the Cowboys in Cleveland? You know what they did? They throttled us. They hammered us. They told us who's the better team. Well, you know what?
Was it our defense or was it Derek Carr?
Oh, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I'm worried about? The Dallas Cowboys. I'm very concerned about this. The Dallas Cowboys were exposed. Not exposed because it was a bad game. I'm going to tell you why they were exposed. They're exposed because they had no run defense, but not only no run defense, we've always had no run defense. We gave up 190 yards on the ground. You know what really worries me? Is our corners, our linebackers. We were exposed in areas we were not expected to be exposed.
Go back to last week then. Was it
right?
What did we win that game based on our defense playing great, or was it Deshaun Watson sucking? So
I think we have our answer, don't we?
We talked about that last week. What was the big thing? I said last week that Deshaun Watson looked horrid on the football field, and our defense did shine, but it's because of his poor play. Now we played it, and I said we'll get a true test against an offensive team like the Saints. And Derek Carr has talent. He's a decent quarterback in the NFL.
He's not a superstar.
He can throw the ball around.
You just said it. What is he, a superstar? No, he's not a superstar. Is he or isn't he?
Is he
a top 10 quarterback?
The Saints are more offensive than the Browns are.
Is Derek Carr a top 10 quarterback?
He's close.
He's like 10.
He's close.
He's like 11.
So if he's 10, then he's top 10.
Should he have destroyed us like he did?
How the defense played? Yes. And it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And that's what I want to tell you right now is that Jerry also said this, and I give Jerry credit on this one too, another one that you're going to harp on me for. But Jerry says, so extraordinarily disappointing for our fans. And you know what? That's what Jerry had to say. Because
isn't that every year though?
Yeah, but there was
every year
100,000 people there, and I was going to tell you something. There's nothing else you can say, but those fans that were so excited, like I said, and the electric atmosphere in there, and to know that the game was over after the first drive, like I knew. I said, "This is listen." Everybody's going to call me out on this one. You ready for this one? I didn't go back to my seats in the second half. We had no desire to watch that.
You stayed at Stadium Club?
We watched the game at the Stadium Club. It was that bad.
We did the same thing in the Green Bay game.
That's what I mean. It was that bad. And guess what? It got worse. What am I going to go sit there and be miserable?
But isn't it like I was telling you before, isn't it such a Cowboy thing to do? Go out and blow out the team week 1, blow them out. So last year, if you compare it, right, from last year, we blow out this, we played last year? It was it the Jets? No,
it wasn't the Jets. We played Jets week 2.
Oh, sorry. We blew out the Giants at home.
Yes,
40
blew
out the Giants at home.
Yeah.
Then we go home to the Jets. We win the Jets. Yep. Then we play the Cardinals without
away,
but without Kyler Murray. Was with Josh Dobbs, and we lose that game. Mm-hmm. And Dak throws 2 interceptions in the end zone. We lose that game, right? It's such a Cowboy thing to do, to win week 1 or start off early, a good start, and then you lose a trap game. The Saints were a trap game. We should have come out and beat them. We were on paper, we're a better team.
Well, yes and no. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I think the Saints
favored by 6 points.
Yep. I don't know. Hey, listen, we were favored. We were the underdog in Cleveland by 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cleveland had a top 10. but Cleveland had a top 10 defense or top 5 defense or whatever it was.
And the Saints scored X amount of points the first week. Like they're a high-powered
Against
offense.
Don't sleep on the Saints. I don't
I
think.
agree.
I think they're here to stay for the 2024 season.
2-0.
Well, hear what you guys have to say
It's
about
early.
pick them and see who you guys pick this week for the Saints game. All I'm saying is this: I'm not sleeping on the Saints. They beat a Carolina Panthers team that had no chance in that game. Sorry, Joe, you picked them, Carolina Panthers, but they had no chance in that game, right? The Panthers suck. They got their butts kicked again this week, right? So like, I can't base that game off of oh, the Saints are great because they beat a horrible high school JV football team, right?
They did.
Okay, but the Cowboys are not a JV football team. They beat the Browns team, and they come in and get embarrassed. So to me, it's like there's a lot of things to fix on both sides, but I don't know. I'm just a Cowboys fan is so frustrated because this is every year. Then you hear Jerry Jones going, "It's early, guys. Don't sleep with this. It's early." Jerry, like, do something. Just do something to improve this team. You're saying it's early. You can make moves during the season. We got to make something. I know I'm not trying to sound desperate here. It's depressing already. But how do you lose a game like that? That's like just got slaughtered at home in your home stadium. Like your first game of the year.
So I
embarrassing.
will say this, though. This is the NFL, and the other guys on the other side of the field are getting paid a lot of money because they're professionals too. And anybody can beat anybody on a given Sunday. And that is the truth. And I do believe that. And I do also believe, too, you don't make or break your season in week 2.
But how's it feel going back home against Baltimore? You feel good about that game?
Listen,
now?
I'm not happy we lost. I'm just putting things in perspective. I think what Jerry means is that, listen, it is early. It is week 2. Okay, we dropped one. Maybe we needed a good punch in the throat to wake up. Maybe that was good enough to be embarrassed for the players. Maybe they have some level of, hey, listen, I'm going to step my game up next week. They better because I'll be down there and I hope to sit in my seat for the whole entire game, not just 2 quarters.
Right.
And hopefully they weren't exposed. Hopefully the Saints did not expose the Cowboys defense. That we'll see how the Ravens, if they do something similar on offense, if they have that same game plan and sort of attack the defense the same way. That's, I think, Lombardi, you said it early on in this discussion, that you're scared because it seems like the Cowboys were exposed. And I think they were. I think their defense was exposed.
What I mean,
particularly their weaknesses.
Scotty, what I mean by this is that every defense has weaknesses, and from day one, we know our weaknesses. That we can't stop the run game. We've tried to fix it. We got Smith in the middle now. We've had who was the other big guy that we got a year before? Peppers. He tried to help out, or not Peppers. Who's the guy that we brought in?
Kendricks?
No, it wasn't Kendrick. It was
last year you're talking
It
about?
was Jonathan Hankins.
Yeah. Thank you, Hankins. But what I'm trying to say, real briefly, is that the reason I am really worried about this, and I use the word exposed, is for this reason. The problem is this: we always get hit up with the run up the middle. We know we're weak there. The way we were exposed on the long ball and the way our linebackers were manhandled and the way they took Micah Parsons out of the game, that is worrisome to me.
Amen.
Yep.
So,
all right, so we move on from the Cowboys and their week 2 showing, hoping that we get a little bit better performance here in week 3. And we look at now the Yankees. Let's turn our attention to the Yankees and what they have done on the positive side here. We just went from a poor showing and an abysmal feeling that the Cowboys have left us with. The Yankees over the last week, I'm assuming, have given you guys a better feeling, a happier feeling.
yeah, I'm actually pumped about this because we've it's a long season. 162 games, you're up and down, and you're going to go through slumps, you're going to go through good times, and we've talked about these times, but don't kid yourself. I always say pitching and defense wins games, but what was so great about the Yankees is that they seem to have gotten out of their slump a little bit, and they're hitting their stride at the right time. And I'm not a mind reader here. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but they on Wednesday night, they clinched a playoff berth with an extra inning win over the Seattle Mariners. They're confident that they celebrated. It was an awesome celebration, but many of them come out and said, our job's not done. We don't want to win a wild card spot. We want to win the division. And they have that right attitude. And I think as a Yankee fan, I think this is a really cool time. We're going to spend a lot of time. JP and I are going to be down for a playoff game or two. We're going to bring some cool pictures and some good dialogue back for you. But I'm really excited about where the Yankees are right now.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a fun year. Obviously, we went to the opening series this year, and we've been to a couple games more. I've been more this year than I have in a while, and it's been a fun year to watch the Yankees. Aaron Judge had a great season. The addition of Soto with his offensive, his offensive ball on this Yankee team made a huge difference than last year. We were struggling on offense, and so I think Soto, Judge. What a great combination. Austin Wells, a lot of young Yankee bombers, like the baby bombers coming up and improving themselves and earning spots in the lineup. So it's been a fun year. I think we're getting healthy at the right time. I think the playoffs should be a pretty fun thing. And we talked about this too. We want to make sure we secure that one spot, right? So we get that first round bye, goes right to the ALDS. So we don't have to play a wild card team because I don't love the new baseball rules, and it's not my thing. I don't love the 2 wildcard teams now. I like the old format than this new format, but it's the game nowadays, right? 2024, that's what they're doing. So I think it's important that the Yankees kind of strengthen up their bullpen. They got to find somebody that get that closer, and hopefully our starting rotation will carry us through this playoffs.
Yeah, we're winding down. We got nine games left. Season ends on September 29th. I think we're away in Oakland for 3. We come home. We
our
see
last games ever in Oakland.
Yeah. We'll see the Orioles, and then we'll finish off with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And right now, currently,
how big is that Oriole?
Well, I don't know because
we're in the playoffs no matter what. But if we get swept by the Orioles and then we lose one to Pittsburgh or lose one to Oakland,
we're up 4
rough.
right now. We're up 4 in the standings right now, and honestly, it would be very, very difficult. And I'm not trying to jinx us, but it's really difficult.
They lost today.
They lost 2-1 today.
3-2.
3-2. Yeah. They're 4 game lead. I don't think the Orioles will come in and sweep us. I mean, maybe we split, or maybe they beat us. They then win the series. They're 2 out of 3. But all we have to do is not get swept.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really not worried about the Orioles now. I'm actually worried about the Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians.
Guardians.
Sorry, I apologize. Yes, the Cleveland Guardians.
How dare you?
I know. Is that crazy?
We were just in Cleveland 2 weeks ago.
But
you knew
I
what they're
know.
called.
Great city.
We drove by their stadium, Joe.
Can't believe I said that.
So
my God.
so insensitive.
So bad.
You're going to go see the Redskins play again this year, too?
I hope so. Maybe. No, but I'm more worried about the Guardians than I am the Orioles. The Guardians are only a half game in hand. They have one more loss than us, but we're tied in the win column. And they're playing good ball. So
Time will tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, we're certainly feeling a lot more comfortable this week than you guys were last week. Just a half game and worrying whether or not they would be the division leader or the wild card.
Hey, Scotty, how's the Red Sox doing? Are they in the race or?
Is baseball season still going on?
Hey.
Anyway, it's
Folks,
time.
Typical Red Sox fan.
It's not time.
Typical
It's
Red
that
Sox
time
fan.
of the
No,
show,
it's
Lombardi.
It's not time. I tell you when it's time, Scotty P. It's not time. Did you hear what Alex Cora did?
No.
He. Do you know Scotty P?
I do not.
And
This
I'm
is
gonna
the first time hearing of it, I think.
I'm gonna really mess this up but I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna have to do some homework on this.
Hold on, let me guess. He banged the trash can.
No. He already
Close.
he already got fired for that once. Can't do it twice.
All right.
No, you know what he did real quick? You know what he did?
No.
He actually came out and the Red Sox, like the last series we played the Red Sox just recently, like last week. They beat us up good. They beat us one game. It was like 7-1. And Alex Cora, like way smarter than this, but he came out into the press and he was like, "This is what's going to get us going. Thanks to the Yankees." Like you got to look at the article. I'll do some research.
The post game interview.
Yeah, it was actually pretty amazing. And then obviously the Yankees come back and beat him 3 out of 4 or whatever. But he got a little mouthy, which I'm surprised because he's more of a classy guy. Well, cheater, but classy guy.
You can't put both in a sentence.
No.
He's a classy cheater.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah, he is.
I'm getting nauseous talking about the Red Sox.
He poked the bear. He
Yeah.
poked the bear
I'm
and
all
paid
set.
for it the next day.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I brought it up.
All right.
I'm not. It was wonderful.
Well, as we wrap up episode 3 here, let's get into our picks. We always have fun doing these. After 1 week, JP, can you tell us what the standings are?
2 weeks.
I'm sorry, 2 weeks. Thank you.
weeks.
After 2 weeks.
Yeah, so 2 weeks, I still am in the lead. I'm still in first place by
See,
one
that's
game.
why I asked him so he could
Right.
have his moment
Right.
in the sun.
He would have already said it anyways if you didn't give it to
So,
him. You kidding me?
so week 2 recap. A lot of upsets last week. A
I'm
lot
classy.
of upsets, and we lost a lot of those upsets because we thought
All
there were
three of us.
sure wins, and they got their losses. But
Ugly.
So I'm right now currently 20-12. Scotty P's in second place with 19-13, and we got Lombardi in third place with 18-14. So it's anybody's game, and we can kind of go right into the week 3 picks.
We might have to dig up that clip, particularly of the Ravens game and Raiders, and we all picked the Ravens, and I believe I said that means it's a definite upset because we all had the same and thought it was a no-brainer.
No, you're definitely right. Definitely right. So, all right. So let's go with so let's again like last week. We'll keep the Cowboys game to last, right?
Fair enough.
So we'll kind of skip over that one.
All right, so let's start with Thursday Night Football. New England Patriots at the New York Jets.
So Aaron Rodgers came back week 2, beat the Tennessee Titans. So I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, why? Because Tennessee is so good.
No, but I mean Tennessee actually played competitive. No, you laugh, but Tennessee played competitive in both their games.
Okay.
They played competitive both their games. They could have won either war, but they
JP, good
they
pick.
lost it. No, they
Good
lost.
pick.
They lost it in the fourth quarter, and the Jets came back to get. So I think the Jets are going to win this game.
Tennessee going to make the playoffs?
Probably not at this
Okay.
point.
I'm going to pick the Jets too then. I'll just leave it at that. I'll take the Jets.
And I picked the Patriots to lose week 1.
And they
won. I picked them to win week 2. They lost. I'm going to pick them to lose this week, hoping that they will win.
Gotcha.
But I am with you, JP. I think Aaron Rodgers and that Jets team is just going to prove too much for them. And as proud as I am of the Patriots, I was also disgusted. It's kind of like that love-hate relationship we have with the Cowboys. They should have beaten the Seahawks.
They should have.
They absolutely should have beaten the
Absolutely should have.
Seahawks. And
Yeah, they beat themselves.
anyway, so
Overtime loss, right?
Jets
Yeah.
across the board, overtime, never
Beat themselves.
shouldn't even gone into overtime,
They
and
beat-
then in overtime they have more opportunities and they blow those.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, the New York Giants against the Cleveland Browns at your city of Cleveland.
Oh my God. I don't know if the Giants going to win ever. You want to talk about bad?
Oh my
like
God.
Daniel Jones, man. How do you get rid of him without? All right, listen.
They
I'm gonna
are
just-
going to win, Joe, and they're going to win this weekend. I'm picking the Giants. They got to win sometime.
That's perfect.
it.
It looks like I'm moving into second place because I picked the Browns.
I think the Browns too. There's no way the Giants win that game.
No.
Daniel Jones has been such a freaking mess. Such a mess. And they had no kicker last. If the Giants had a kicker last week, they would have won that game against Washington. And Washington looked horrible too. But it was such a trash bowl game that last week against Washington Giants. And I picked the Giants to win last week. And if they had a kicker, they would have won, and I would have been up 2 games. But now the Giants lost because their coach couldn't sign a backup kicker. And this year, I think this game they signed up Joseph, the kicker from the old Vikings kickers, down the Giants. But I'm going Cleveland. Giants suck. I'm sorry, Scotty, but they just are terrible.
Hey, you don't have to apologize to me. I
why?
hate them.
I know
Oh, you do?
I do. Yeah, I hate them.
Don't you have like 14 favorite teams? Don't you just say that like?
I told you in my neighborhood you
I
were a
wouldn't
Cowboys fan
Lombardi.
or a Giants fan.
Lombardi, I wouldn't talk with Mr. Jacksonville over here. All right, let's keep going.
What you did mention, you keep mentioning Daniel Jones. You didn't mention the defense and the awful offense of Cleveland. I am praying and hoping here my pick is right because the Giants defense is going to come through, and not that it's hard right now, but they're going to stop the Browns.
Okay.
Anyway, living on a prayer here. Green Bay at Tennessee. We've all picked the, once again, loveless Packers.
Listen, somebody
That was a huge upset last week.
can somebody correct me? Is Jordan Love coming back?
Yeah, he's coming back in a couple weeks. I think they're saying.
Is it a couple
It's
weeks?
It's
Is
just
that
a,
just-
Yeah, it was not a season ender.
No,
a season
no, I
ending
knew
news.
that.
MCL
not this
sprain.
week.
It's
No.
not this week.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
But
I don't
listen,
think so.
They
It
beat
could,
they
but-
beat a pretty good Colts team. That was a big surprise. We all picked I think Indy to win that game last week,
We
right?
did. Another
And-
0 for 3.
Oh, for 3, yeah. And that was a huge upset. I think, and Willis played good enough. The defense played outstanding for the Packers, keeping Richardson kind of in check that whole game. So that was a fun game to watch. It was good to see the Packers kind of play the underdog and get the win. But
and that's why I picked the Packers. I like
too.
I like their defense.
But don't be surprised if Tennessee does win that game. I think Tennessee.
yeah.
I think
it's a toss up.
yeah.
I like the Packers.
Let's
and the
see
defense.
let's see how Tennessee handles Green Bay now that they have a game of Willis.
Under his belt.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
Now they can prepare for it where the Colts didn't have that luxury. They didn't have anything to
Well,
go
they have
off. So
video
it's hard
now.
to
They have
prepare.
video. They have
It's hard to prepare for somebody you've never
yeah.
seen.
Pretty interesting though, right? The Tennessee Titans traded Willis to the Green Bay Packers before the season started, so he's playing his old team, got a lot to prove there. Or Tennessee knows his
Knows him so
knows his
well.
game,
Knows him
and
too well.
he's doomed.
Yeah.
Either way, it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
Either way. All right. The Bears at the Colts, the aforementioned Colts.
Go ahead. You take it away.
I think I'm alone here, but I picked the Colts. I think Richardson's gonna come out and rebound off that embarrassing Green Bay loss, and I think they're gonna beat the Bears. Caleb Williams has shown me nothing to trust him and to think that offense is gonna be anywhere good.
So I understand why you picked why you picked the way you picked, but I do think Williams is a good quarterback, and I think he's going to show something at some point in time this season.
At some point he'll be good, but not right now.
Well, you know what? I picked the Bears for this reason. I think you're going to see pockets of really, really great things from Williams, and I think this is a winnable game for the Bears.
Okay.
And I think that it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game, close, but I think you're going to see Williams do something special.
Okay.
I agree. I'm with you. I'm picking the Bears as well. These next 4 games really are toss-ups and maybe even past that, but I think they are. Next one is the Houston Texans playing well at the Minnesota Vikings, also playing very well. Lombardi, who you got?
I had the Texans. The Vikings don't. I just don't feel good.
You're
about
not
the
sold
Vikings.
on them, huh?
No, I don't think they're the real deal. I don't know why.
It's been a great story for Sam Darnold. I mean,
Yeah, but-
listen, Sam Darnold got drafted by the Jets, had a rough start to his career.
the other New York team.
They let him go. He goes to the San Francisco 49ers as a backup quarterback, sits for a year, and then he goes to back up J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, and he's played great in 2 games. Now, the first game was against the Giants. All right, it's fine. He beat the Giants team, but then he beat the San Francisco 49ers last week, and that was a huge upset. Goes in and beats his old team that let him go last year, and I think Jefferson got hurt. But anyways, I feel like it's a great story. I just don't think they have enough to beat Houston. Houston's a good team.
His true colors will show this week.
We'll see.
His true colors will show.
I think Houston. I like C.J. Stroud more than I do like Sam Darnold. So
Are you sure? Because you've been talking him up.
I'm just saying it's a great story. It's a great story. It's like the Geno Smith from 2 years ago. Like nobody thought Geno could play football anymore, and he came out and won the starting job, and he played great for the brought him to the playoffs. So I'm rooting for Sam Darnold a little bit because I want him
I
to.
can tell.
I want him to succeed.
Yeah.
Being a first overall pick for the Jets. Anybody who goes to the Jets, by the way,
feel bad
top
for.
3 pick. I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Like Woody Johnson, that freaking crew. I would stay away from New York. That is such a bad.
It's a
GM.
dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire.
God,
Both of them.
so bad.
Both of them are.
I feel for you, Jet fans, man. I don't know how you can root for that team still.
Well, what I was going to say is maybe it's the system, and maybe Darnold now is in a system that fits him well. I am also rooting for in my heart the Texans. I really like that team that they've put together, but I'm picking the Vikings this week.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Philadelphia at New Orleans. We know what the Saints are capable of. We know what the Eagles are capable of. Cowboys are playing both of these teams this year. Who you got, JP?
I loved watching the Eagles lose, by the way, on Monday night against the Atlanta Falcons. You called that game, by the way. You're the only person who picked the Falcons. We both picked.
Thank you.
That's not true. I thought I picked the Falcons.
You did not pick
You
the
did
Falcons.
not pick
I
the
didn't?
Falcons.
No. We both picked the Eagles because you didn't want to fucking vomit.
You guys are a little angry here tonight.
God. Anyway,
I think I picked the New Orleans Saints.
you did pick the Saints last week too.
No, I did not.
You didn't?
No, we all picked the Cowboys.
Did we all
got
pick
that
the?
wrong.
All right,
Yeah.
well, my
No,
bad.
I was just
All
trying
I'm
to
saying, yeah.
squeeze in like Lombardi. Oh, I
know,
think I
right?
picked the right team.
Oh, I know his picks for sure. So the thing is, like Atlanta upsetting them, by the way, last minute, winning that game by a point. Loved seeing the Eagles lose. I don't think Hurts has it this year. his first year, if they didn't have really have some film on him, so they didn't really know what he was gonna do. The kid cannot throw. He's literally running back number 1 in that team. Barkley's number 2. I just don't think they're gonna win this game. I got the Saints. Their offense is better than the Eagles. So I'm gonna take the Saints.
So this is an emotional pick for me because I've made it clear that I can't stand the Eagles. Like they're
Yeah.
Yep.
obviously diehard Cowboy fan, and obviously Cowboy fans don't like the Eagles. Eagle fans don't like the Cowboys. I get it, but this is an emotional pick for me. But I do not think that the Eagles are as good as people say. They beat themselves last night. I mean, Barkley catches that ball. There was bad calls. Like their coaches, they ran the ball out. They like
Play calling. Bad play calling, not by the referees.
I apologize.
Who was that, by the way?
Nick Sirianni. I don't like him either.
No. Who calls offensive plays for the Eagles?
Oh, do we have to mention his name here?
Yeah.
Kellen Moore. We have to really mention
Kellen Moore.
Listen,
You love Kellen Moore.
No, you love Kellen
No,
Moore.
I never love Kellen
No,
Moore.
I love
never-
Kellen
no.
Moore.
All right, let me tell you this: the Eagles are not that good. It's not because I'm biased. It's not because I'm emotional right now. The Eagles are not that good, and Jalen Hurts has a lot of shortcomings that are going to be exposed. He's got Barkley.
He can't throw the ball.
He's got Barkley, and he's playing well. Barkley's playing well, but the Eagles beat themselves last week. Saints win this week.
And because they beat themselves last week, I think they come in focused, and I'm going with the Eagles. But
Yuck.
that's going to be a fun game. I want to
Scotty
watch that
P.
game.
Gross.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
I know. All right, what's new? Chargers at the Steelers. JP, who you got?
I'm going with Chargers, man. They're 2-0?
They are.
They're looking good under Jim Harbaugh. And everybody said, oh, they have no weapons. J.K. Dobbins look pretty good, And Quentin Johnston came out. First game ever of his career. Got 2 touchdown passes. I'm feeling the Chargers. Going Chargers this week.
I think the Chargers drop one this week.
Okay.
I do.
With Justin Fields?
Yes, I like Justin Fields. He's another kid that's going to show promise.
Yep.
He's in a system right now that they like. They like him. He's a likable kid. He's a hard worker, and I think he pulls one off over here. They're probably an underdog, right?
Sure.
They're probably an underdog.
They're at Pittsburgh,
I mean,
too. So you have your home
and
advantage.
how can you cheer for Harbaugh? Like
I like Jim Harbaugh.
You do? Because he's a
do.
cheater. I mean, him and Alex Cora
How
go
did
out
he
to
cheat?
dinner. Wasn't he at Michigan? Isn't it the same guy? No.
He won a championship at Michigan.
Yeah, well, let's talk
Scotty,
about
who
how
do you
he
got
did.
for this game?
I don't think the Chargers have seen anyone like Watt, and they are going to experience his power, and they're going to have a rough time, I think, in Pittsburgh this weekend. I'm going with the Steelers.
Hey, is Russell Wilson still on the team?
He is.
I know he's your boy. He's
Who?
right? He's
My
Scotty
boy?
P's boy. No, Scotty P's boy.
He's an NC State guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wolfpack, right?
ew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the best.
Maybe we
Wolfpack
can have him on.
quarterbacks.
Can you reach out to him? He's not doing much.
I don't know if I know him as well as Vinny Testaverde,
No, you missed it up.
but
It's Bernie Kosar. But I mean,
Vinny Testaverde.
I can have a cameo with Russell Wilson. Dangerous over there. Dangerous.
I got
All
my what a surprise! I got my Cleveland quarterback wrong. There hasn't been that many of them. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
All right, where are we? I lost my
Denver
place
at
here.
Tampa Bay. So the next game.
All right, Lombardi. This is across the board here. These
yeah,
next few games.
Yeah,
here.
these are easy. We're going the Bucks. The three of us,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been
Baker Mayfield, man, he's playing lights out.
out of his mind.
He's actually not bad.
It's the most Cleveland Brown thing ever. Like they let they let Baker go, and he signs with the Bucks, and becomes a good quarterback all of a sudden.
Well, you say that, but I will tell you, when we were in Cleveland and you were with me, you wouldn't have believed how many fans, when we were talking about
Loved
Deshaun
him.
Watson and how they couldn't stand him, and a lot of these fans were disgusted that they let Baker Mayfield walk out or leave. And I'll tell you really quick about Baker Mayfield. I don't think Baker Mayfield is going to take a team and win a championship on his own. But I think if you surround the right people with Baker Mayfield, he's actually a good quarterback. And that's why I think he's going to have some success.
And that's what he has in Tampa Bay. He
Correct.
has healthy wide receivers who are weapons.
Right.
And I do. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. I like Baker Mayfield. I want to see him do well. And I think he hit the nail on the head there with he's not going to do it on his own.
No.
But he's going to play a key part in the team that if they
Right.
are successful, he's going to play key part in it. All right, the Panthers at the Raiders. We all have the Raiders. There's one of these weeks, though, mark my words, the Panthers are going to upset a team.
Any given Sunday.
I don't think we're going to ever pick it right, but it will happen.
It won't be this week.
No.
It won't be this week. Listen, I mean, Lombardi picked the Panthers. I think that'll be the last time any of us pick the Panthers the rest of the season.
I'm going to pick them. I promise you
They
I
got to
will pick
win
them.
once. They're not going to go over.
No.
They got to win
Right.
once.
Just a matter of
Y'all
you can
can-
pick
y'all
the
can-
right week.
you
that
guys-
they win.
Sad
you
part,
guys can-
though,
yeah.
the sad part is this. If they were going to win or they're going to win, it's got to be earlier on in the season because teams usually get better for the most part, and the Panthers are not going to get better.
Did you guys?
Or it's at the end of the season when they're packing it in and they've
So
already
there's
got
no
a
stars
playoff
playing.
clinched.
so
exactly.
new starting quarterback in Carolina, right? So Bryce Young
Yeah.
got benched, and the Red Rocket is now back starting. Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So that could be the medicine they need to win, right? I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? I mean,
Yeah, you just
we
put,
watched Andy Dalton in Dallas.
if we
He's
could
so
put,
great.
If we can put that guy that we mentioned, Kellen Moore, with Andy Dalton, maybe
Oh
they can
my
get a
God.
win, huh?
Miami at Seattle, the Seahawks. Dolphins at Seahawks. Miami is traveling to the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest. We all have the Seahawks at home. 12th man.
How bad are the Dolphins since two has been down?
Yeah.
They're just not even close to being as good as they were. And two is out now, minimum 4 games being on the IR. And that hit was
Well,
rough. He
he's
ran right
so
into the
sad.
hand. Yeah.
You say 4 games. I'm not sure he will come back.
I don't know if I want him to come back.
Did you guys hear the rumors they might
his
trade
own
for
health.
Tom
right.
Brady?
I'm with you on that too. They probably just hold him out. But do you hear they were looking into possibly the Dolphins looking into getting Stafford?
No, I heard the rumors about Tom Brady. They were trying to get him out of the box. Tom Brady, they got the memes up there already. He's already wearing a Dolphin shirt.
No, I think he's part owner of the Raiders now, so I don't think he can come out. But the Dolphins are going to have to make a move. They signed Huntley off the waiver wire. He used to back up Lamar Jackson when he got hurt a couple of years. He played a lot. I don't think he's the answer. Skylar Thompson's not the answer. So
We talked about this before, and not getting back to the Cowboys yet, but we talked about this. There's not anybody out there to go get. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And that was the problem with the Dak Prescott thing. And I'll leave it alone. But that was really the hard thing. Like there's nobody out there to go get.
right, I'm with you.
You know?
All right, so we all have the Seahawks, and it's just so sad. You hate to see what's happening to Tua, and you just hope for his own personal health. He makes the decision that's right for him. And 4 concussions in 2 years, man, you hate to see that. Anyway, all right, so we move on to the 49ers at the LA Rams. We are across the board with the 49ers.
Unfortunately,
Well, the Rams are just depleted at the wide receiver position. Cooper Kupp and Puka are both out for extended amount of time. I just don't see that Rams defense holding up against San Fran. So, and is McCaffrey coming back this week? Do we know if he's coming back this week?
I don't think he is.
He's still out.
He's still out.
Yeah, wow. So I don't know. I think San Fran's got too much. They lost embarrassing a game to the Minnesota Vikings. I think they'll come back strong and just beat up on the Rams. So
Yeah, too much for the Rams to overcome, we all think.
yeah.
Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. Lombardi, who you got?
The Lions.
Detroit, huh?
I do. I honestly think that, I don't know, I don't ever have confidence, and this goes back to the Dallas loss to Atlanta. I'm sorry, not to Atlanta.
Arizona.
To Arizona.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like Arizona has, I don't know. I just don't feel good about it. I guess that's the way I can say it. I just don't feel good about Arizona. I think Campbell over in Detroit has his team. It's a well-oiled machine. I think he's a great coach. I think he prepares properly. I think his team prepares properly, and I think they're going to be too strong.
I disagree. I watching the Cardinals play Week 1, they really gave the Bills a run for their money. And then last week they just demolished who they played, the Rams, right? They just demolished the Rams. So
Yeah.
41-10 or something. They just killed them. So
But we talked about the Rams.
I know, but I just think
know?
Kyler Murray's playing well. Marvin Harrison looked good last week against the Rams. So I don't know. I think the Arizona Cardinals got a little flash to them. You know, Detroit lost It's Tampa Bay.
They're gonna be hungrier this week.
Maybe. I think that this game is a complete toss up for me.
Sure.
I just my gut tells me to go with the Cardinals. If I'm betting money on it, I'm going. I think the Cardinals will win this game. So the Cardinals. What do you got, Scotty?
Yeah, I agree. Bit of a toss-up here, but I'm going to go with stronger defense on the Lions side, and hoping that Kyler Murray doesn't have another career game, and Goff has the upper hand on quarterback play. But I think the quarterback play and the defense will be the factors, so I'm leaning Lions.
Okay.
All right, moving on. KC, the Chiefs, Sunday Night Football against those Atlanta Falcons that beat the Eagles.
This is a no-brainer for me. I mean, the Falcons are not good.
All right, can we talk about the Chiefs real quick? 1 second, okay? Like, oh my God, do they get every freaking call? Like, I'll never bet against the Chiefs. They're gonna win every game. Like that call last week against the Bengals was just horrible. The defender on the Bengals went up for the ball, hands up, playing the ball, and they call pass interference to get the Chiefs in for a field goal. That's insane. Like, they get every single call. You know what I mean? It's like watching the Patriots 5 years ago. Brady on the Patriots
Can't breathe
every
on
call.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, can't do
Can't
anything.
do- yeah.
Can't do anything. It's like they own the refs. So I'm not betting against the Chiefs all year. I'm going Chiefs every week. Whatever. They're gonna win every game.
You know,
Is that why he's the GOAT, by the way? Is because the referees helped him get there?
Well, I mean, I don't know what he pays them, but I want to double it to get the Cowboys to win.
You know the thing about Kansas City, and a lot of people say this, and probably a different show for different time for different show, or different show for different time. But I will tell you this, like, everybody does say that, like, you get a premier quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady,
Aaron Rodgers.
and you wonder, like, do these officials actually? And I'm not saying they may be doing it deliberately or on purpose, but you wonder if they really have a little special feeling about, I need to protect this is the upper quarterback of the
They're
National Football League.
professionals.
You
they get
say
paid
that
to make the
You-
call
you know
right
how
there
many-
in front of
comes from a
everybody.
Patriot fan.
How many stories have we seen with their officials that have gotten in trouble for what we're talking about?
it's just
I
so
don't know.
frustrating.
'Cause it is a lot. It is a lot.
Before the loss this weekend, Joe Burrow was 3-1 against Mahomes. He actually had his number, and the one loss he had was in the playoffs, and that was another really questionable call. And the Bengals lost that game, so it just seems to always go in their favor when they need it. And I just don't. And by the way, Kelsey has been like, is he on the team still? Is he traveling with the KC? Or he has done nothing this year. I mean, I guess
He's in love.
He's a
He's in
full
love.
time. He's a full time Swiftie.
Yeah, he's
full
a
time.
love.
All right.
But hold on, one last thing on that, Scotty. To your point, I can see if we were talking about the Eagles or the Commanders or somebody in our division that we fight about, like, all the time. Oh, we're down because the Cowboys didn't get a call. This has nothing to do with us. AFC, they're nothing to us. It does seem though that, like, those guys do get the call. I don't know.
It's just
Well, I hear you. Like, I'm not saying there aren't bad calls, but I am a firm believer that you make your own luck. You put yourself in position to where you can maybe benefit from good luck or a bad call. The Chiefs, those close games that you just mentioned, JP, those calls wouldn't be that big if they were getting blown out by 20 points every game.
What is that defender supposed to do in that situation? He played the ball. He didn't play the receiver. He played the ball. He was going for the pick. To me, it's like he played it everything right. And they should be able to review that and go, hey, you know what, guys, we're gonna pick up our flag. That wasn't a penalty. But they won't do that. They can't do that, right? It's not part of the rules. They should be able to review a call like that. That's a bad call. No, guys, listen, we're pick up the flag. The defender was playing the ball. It wasn't a pass interference. But nope, Mahomes put his hands up like this, going, like, come on, guys, call it, guys.
And then the flag comes
out. That to me is a little.
Well, and I know what you mean by playing the ball, but just because you're playing the ball doesn't mean, and I'm not saying it happened in this instance, but you can't just plow through the receiver because you're playing the ball. Oh, I was going for the ball. It was on the other side of him, I went right through him. But that's not what happened here, and I understand what you're saying.
If you watch the play, it was a clean play, and I feel bad for the Bengals losing that way. It just seems questionable, but
It's,
whatever.
We're all human beings, and I know the officials, like I said, have a hard job to do because they're watching it real quick. But I've seen even the crowds get into it when a crowd gets into a call, whatever, and you see the flag come out because it's almost like it's like, oh shit, I have to throw a flag. They must have seen something that I haven't. Or on a basketball court, they blow the whistle because the crowd erupts. And, there are times where they huddle up when they get together, they pick up the flag, they do the right thing. And most times they do the right thing. But I do agree with you. It is odd that these premier quarterbacks do seem to get a lot of good calls.
Yeah.
Well, I do like this year in the NFL, the response, the speedy response where either upstairs or New York is coming in and assisting on a lot of these calls. I think they've been accurate. They've been correct in those instances. You're not saying, oh, what are they doing there? That's not their spot. They're coming in, and to call that is clear. They don't need to either change that call. Every time that it's happened, I think it's happened appropriately, and I like it. I've seen more of it this year, so hopefully that continues. All right, Monday Night Football. We have two games we got to whip through here real quick. Jacksonville at Buffalo, and then Washington at Cincinnati. So, JP, why don't you give us your two picks together? Jacksonville at Buffalo and Commanders at Bengals.
Unlike Joe Lombardi, I'm going with Buffalo Bills because he's going to go with Jacksonville. It's every week. He loves Jacksonville Jaguars. You're a Trevor Lawrence fan.
I am.
I'm going to get you that for Christmas. I'm going to get you a 16 jersey.
I am.
I got you, bro.
Thank you. I'll get you a Burrows jersey.
Buffalo. I picked Buffalo and Cincinnati are my two picks.
All right, Lombardi.
I'm gonna
Jacksonville
go,
and
and obviously Cincinnati. The Commanders is the Commanders.
It is.
Yeah,
the Commanders,
they're
Garbage.
They're like maybe just above the Giants, and that would be a dumpster fire over there. So
Hey, Washington, how's Dan Quinn doing?
yeah, good because he's whatever. I'm not even Jacksonville and Cincy is my pick.
And my picks are the exact same as Lombardi's.
Ooh.
Jacksonville and Cincinnati.
Wow.
All right. And we're saving the best for last. The Cowboys hosting again the Ravens. Is that right? They're home against the Ravens?
That is
home
correct.
against
Yes.
the Ravens.
Yes.
And,
Yep. I'm on the road.
And Lombardi will be there.
Yeah, I'm on the road, flying out early.
Back-to-back weekends, Lombardi's in Dallas.
Yes.
All right, Lombardi, you're going to be there. Who are you going to be cheering on?
So the Ravens have really surprised everybody. I think in the NFL, I don't think anybody would have said that the Ravens were going to be 0-2 at this point in time, and including myself. I don't think they're an 0-2 team. Just like I don't think the Cowboys played last week like what they're capable of playing. I am going with my Dallas Cowboys. I do think they're going to rebound. I do think Mike Zimmer, with our defensive problems, as we talked earlier on the show, I don't think he puts up with that. He's going to demand better from his players, and I think you're going to see a different Dallas Cowboy team on that field.
JP?
It's to me, it's a toss-up. Yeah, the Ravens are 0-2, but they're not a typical 0-2 team. I think they're a lot better than that. They lost to Kansas City, and then they got upset by against the Raiders. So I'm going with the Cowboys because that's what my heart tells me to go with the Cowboys. I really hope Dak can come through and win a big game for us. I think this is a game where if he does play well, it'll be a highlight of his career, beating a good team. Because if you look at the Cowboys versus playoff teams in the past couple of years, I think we're like 11-11. It's we're like a 500. It's a toss up. It could go either way. So to me, I'm looking at embarrassing loss at home. They get to go back to Dallas and fight for the home field. I think they're going to win this game. It's going to be close. I think Lamar Jackson might have a good game, but I think it's going to be close. I hope Cowboys pull it off.
And Lamar Jackson can use his feet much more than David Carr can. And we just spent a whole show talking about how Cowboys are struggling against the run.
So who you got, Scotty?
What are the odds that the Ravens are going to go 0-3? I picked them the first 2 weeks. They lost. I got it wrong. I'm sticking with them one more week here, and we'll see what happens.
Gotcha.
So tune in next week. Come back. Listen to us. Watch us again wherever you may find us, and we'll find out how well we did for week 3 of the NFL. Gentlemen, final thoughts.
So I got one thing. If you haven't yet, please give us a like and a follow on all our social media. We are up on Spotify. We're up on Apple Podcasts, so you can listen to the episodes there. And we're also on YouTube. So please, if you can, subscribe, give us a like and a follow. And we love the love we gotten so far. We got a lot of good feedback. So give us a review on any platform to let us know how we're doing. So please help us out.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I echo the same thing that JP just said. We're having a lot of fun with this. We hope we've gotten a lot of feedback. Not only great feedback, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun has come out of this, I think, is the way to say, even amongst the three of us, and the camaraderie and the good times and the good banter. We want to keep this going. So as JP said, please, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to us. Just hit the button that says subscribe. You like us, and we appreciate everybody and all their support, all your support.
And I couldn't agree with you more. Please follow us and tell these guys just how bad they really are. Till next week, thanks for tuning in. See ya.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. In a city that never sleeps